Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're literally drawing up the plans for a career that shapes the world we live in. We are diving deep into the world of architecture.
So maybe you find yourself staring at incredible buildings, or you're always sketching out ideas, and you're thinking, hey, could I do that? Is architecture the right path for me? Well, you are in exactly the right place.
We're going to push past all the romantic ideas and get right into the real stuff, the big questions. We're talking about the purpose, the challenges, the opportunities, and yeah, we're definitely going to talk about the money. We're basically answering all the top questions people have about this amazing field.
Okay, so first things first. Let's start with the foundation of it all, the motivation. What is it that really calls someone to become an architect? What's the why behind it all?
You see, at its heart, architecture is this beautiful marriage of art and science. It's so much more than just making things look pretty. It's about cracking complex puzzles to create spaces that are functional, safe, and genuinely inspiring. You're constantly walking this tightrope between a creative vision and the technical nuts and bolts.
And this, right here, is the key. This isn't just another job. It's a chance to leave a real, lasting mark on the world. The buildings you dream up, they become the homes, the schools, the places where people live out their lives. That's an incredibly powerful way to contribute to society.
Which brings us to the million-dollar question that everyone asks. Is it all worth it? And look, the consensus is pretty clear. If you're someone who is driven by that mix of creativity, technical thinking, and a real desire to do meaningful work, then the answer is a huge, resounding yes.
Now, let's switch gears from the why to the how. Every dream job has its daily realities, and architecture is absolutely no exception. So it's super important to have a clear-eyed, balanced view of what you're getting into.
What's so great about this slide is the contrast it shows. Because on one hand, you've got the creative dream. That's what gets most people hooked on architecture. But on the other hand, you've got the daily grind. And that means juggling demanding clients, navigating a maze of building codes, and hitting some seriously tight deadlines just to bring that vision to life.
And that grind leads us to one of the most, let's say, infamous parts of being an architect, the all-nighters. So is this just a myth left over from school, or is this something that actually happens in the real world?
And the honest answer is, yeah, sometimes it does. When a huge deadline is staring you down, long hours can definitely be part of the deal. But, and this is a big but, it's not a constant state of panic. The real takeaway here is that learning how to manage your time isn't just a nice skill to have, it's absolutely essential for a long, sustainable, and way less stressful career.
All right, so now we get the calling, and we get the reality. Let's start mapping out the actual journey. Because an architecture degree doesn't just funnel you into one single job. No way. It opens up an entire world of possibilities. Let's see how that path gets built. Your career really kicks off long before you toss that graduation cap. While you're still studying for your Bachelor of Architecture, your B.Arch, you can get a massive head start. Internships, they give you that crucial real-world experience. Freelance work builds up your portfolio and your bank account. Competitions make you sharper. The bottom line is, you've got to be proactive.
And these opportunities, they're not just in your backyard. The demand for architects is exploding all over the globe. Why? Well, think about it. The world is facing these massive challenges, like cities growing at a crazy pace, and of course, climate change. And architects, they're on the front lines, creating solutions with green design and smart city planning.
And this right here is a perfect example of how tech is completely changing the game. A BIM architect is a modern specialist. They use this super powerful software to create intelligent 3D models of buildings. Just think of it like a digital twin of the real thing. It lets plumbers and electricians see exactly where everything goes before a single brick is laid, which saves a ton of money and headaches. It is an absolute game changer.
So, you've got that degree in hand. Now where can you go? Well, the classic path is architectural design, of course. But just look at this list. You could be shaping entire cities as an urban planner, designing incredible parks as a landscape architect, or even preserving history by working in conservation.
And trust me, it does not stop there. An architecture degree basically trains you in design thinking, and you can apply that skill almost anywhere. You could be designing furniture, managing huge construction projects, becoming an expert on sustainability, or even designing sets for movies and plays. The possibilities are just unbelievably diverse.
Okay, now that you've seen all these amazing paths you can take, let's get down to brass tacks. Let's talk money. It's great to be passionate, but you also have to pay the bills, right? So what are the financial realities here?
So there's this common idea floating around that architects, especially when they're just starting out, are kind of underpaid for all the work and school it takes. Let's actually look at the numbers and see what the story really is.
Okay, so this table shows some typical monthly figures in India. As a fresher, yeah, the starting salary is pretty modest. But here's the really important part. Look at the progression. With 5 to 10 years under your belt, that income can triple or even quadruple. And for senior architects or people who own their own firms, the potential is sky high. The key thing to see here is that this is a career with serious long-term financial growth.
And hey, remember that whole BIM specialization we talked about? Well, here is where it really pays off. A skilled BIM professional can command a much higher salary right out of the gate, and experienced managers can earn some seriously top-tier incomes. In today's market, those specialized tech skills are worth a lot.
So, how do you speed up that growth? Well, this slide lays out a super clear strategy. First, master the essential software. Second, build a portfolio that really shows off your unique style. Third, find a niche you're passionate about, whether that's sustainability or something else. And then, over time, think about that ultimate step, starting your very own practice.
All right. We've talked about the passion, the reality, the different career paths, and the pay. Now it is time to put it all together and figure out the final verdict.
So, when you step back and look at the whole picture, what's the conclusion? While it might not have the biggest starting paycheck compared to some other fields, architecture offers something incredibly valuable. We're talking long-term stability, professional respect, and just so many different ways to grow and evolve over a lifetime. It's truly a marathon, not a sprint.
In the end, it really all comes down to this one question. If you're ready for a journey that's going to be challenging, for sure, but also deeply rewarding, one that blends art, tech, and a real human impact, then the only thing left to ask yourself is, what will you